Life Crew Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the podcast. My name is Jareth.
And I'm Deborah.
We are the Full Life Crew. We've been married for 24 years. We have 8 kids, and we run and drive an ice cream truck. A Tiki's shaved ice and ice cream truck. And today we're talking about something in our local market that's fixing to happen on September 7th. It's going to be a big, explosive event.
Exciting.
It's like there's going to be things flying and falling, and it'll be exciting.
It will be.
But before we jump into the topic, if you get an opportunity, go to fulllifecrew.com/save, and there you can find lots of discounts, products, and services. We have the Upside app. You can download the Upside app there and use our special promo code where you can save an additional 25 cents on your first fill up. But more importantly, between the two of us, we probably saved now almost, what,
70 bucks, 70 bucks?
So it works. It works. And you can go download it right now and save some money. I'm sure you have plenty of money in this particular economy. So today we're talking about the Hertz Tower, or what we call the Capital One Tower, or
the CM Tower.
The CM Tower. It's had many, many names. It's if you are familiar with Lake Charles or you travel along I-10 coming through Louisiana going into Texas, you're familiar with a very large building. I say very large. It's not that large.
It's our one large tower.
We have one large tower. Why? I don't know. I guess it's the way our economy works. We're very spread out. We don't have any towers.
No, I think it all has to go back for hurricane season. Buildings are short.
You think?
I think so.
Really? I mean, that building survived many, many hurricanes.
I don't know then, but it's our one tower. So when you think of a skyline in Lake Charles, it would be the tower, what we formerly knew as CM Tower. And
this particular tower has a lot of special moments in our life.
It does.
Yeah.
We had our wedding reception up there.
Yeah. Yep. There used to be a restaurant at the top called the City Club.
Yes.
Which was a very nice restaurant. It was really cool because then you could go up. It was at the top, it's in the very top 3 or 4 floors, and then you could look out over the lake, see all the refineries.
Which at night you would think you were in a huge town. But it had an amazing view because you could look out over the water, see everything, because around the front of it where the tables were was just windows, lots of windows. And
it was like the nicest place in town. Normally they required you to wear a coat, so if you were in there, you had to wear a coat. I don't think a tie was mandatory, but definitely a
coat. Nice dress for the ladies.
Growing up in our family business, we had lots of events up there.
Yeah, Christmas parties.
Christmas parties there.
Awards, when y'all did awards.
Yeah. But probably the biggest memory we have in this particular building is we got married, but our wedding reception was up there.
Yes, it was.
Which was nice.
And a lot of years on New Year's Eve, we'd spend up there also.
Yeah, you could go up there, eat, and watch the fireworks on the lake if they had them.
That was pretty nice. But this building has had several names.
Well, it's had several landlords. Originally, it was called the CM Tower for Calcasieu Marine Bank. And then they sold out to, was it Hibernia?
I don't remember, but there's been several different banks that have come through there.
It was Hibernia Bank for a long time. And then Capital One bought it, and it was the Capital One Bank. And then I think that it's called the Hertz Tower, but I don't know. Now, when I say Capital One bought it, I don't think Capital One bought it. I think Capital One's name was on it because they were the biggest tenant.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. So it's called the Hertz Tower, but everybody else called it either the CM Tower because
that's what it was originally.
Yeah, the lower part, you had the tower, but the lower part is where the bank was.
Yeah, so people did their banking there. If you were downtown, you could go to the bank there. And then all the taller part was businesses, offices. A lot of them were empty by now.
Yeah, I don't think the building ever was 100% occupied. It always struggled with occupancy.
Yeah.
Like, it's not many people like working in the downtown area in Lake Charles. It's, I don't know. I mean, most of the stuff downtown is like city operational stuff. Yeah. There's not a lot of businesses that have been successful in downtown Lake Charles.
Yeah.
All of the money in Lake Charles is on the south side.
But this was our one big tower.
Yeah, it was our one big tower.
Yeah. Our one big tower. And 4 years ago, during Hurricane Laura, Hurricane Laura decided it was going to be hers.
Yep, and that's why you can see. Let's see if I don't know if I can make this bigger.
Yes, Hurricane Laura just absolutely took havoc on this tower. The windows, they blew all the windows out. Not all of them, but most of them. It was just a complete mess.
So here's a larger picture of it. And I don't know if you can tell, but the building is completely glass, but after the hurricane, it was boarded up with these pieces of plywood. So this is what this building has looked like for 4 years. It's been a big eyesore in the town forever. There was lots of issues with the insurance company not wanting to pay what the building was worth. Anyway, long story short, now it's set to be demolished.
Yeah, they were going to try and fix it back up, and I know they had started, but then they realized there was just way too much. It was just too much damage to redo it. So they said, hey, let's have an implosion.
So here's a newscast kind of on the plan, what's fixing to happen.
Cynthia Arsenault. KPLC's Haley Jefferson spoke with officials and the contractor to give us a glimpse of how implosion day will work.
An eyesore, soon to be a development-ready site, the former Capital One Tower is set for implosion on Saturday, September 7th, beginning at 8 that morning. Officials say it will take under 30 seconds for the implosion to happen. So who will be impacted by the implosion? Well, residents and businesses in the exclusion zone can be occupied during the implosion, but no people or pets should be outside during the implosion.
The exclusion zone is everywhere that could be, that is impacted or that needs to be made safe during the time of the implosion. So each of these property owners has been contacted by the contractors. They've personally spoke with them, so they understand what has to happen during the actual time of the demo and just beyond that.
Along with an exclusion zone, a buffer zone will be established on the water for the safety of boaters. So far, we have seen items from the inside of the building removed, the demolition of the sky bridge, along with work in the atrium area.
The atrium, you're going to see the roof in place for a little while longer. That's actually providing shade and rain cover for us right now. And so we're going to leave that in place as long as possible, probably come down just a couple of weeks before the building gets imploded.
The implosion will bring the tower down to height of around 4 to 6 stories.
Around the charges themselves, there will be protection measures put in place by us before and after they load to make sure that fly rock does not leave any further than 25, 50 feet away from the building. And so that's the main thing, is that those precautionary measures that we put in place.
Most roadways may be back open within 30 minutes to an hour after the implosion. Officials say the post-implosion complete cleanup will take approximately 90 days. In Lake Charles, Haley Jefferson, 7 News.
So here's what the Capital One Tower used to look like. I don't know if we should call it Capital One or Hibernia. I guess I've known it by so many names.
Yeah, but that's what it used to look like.
Yeah,
it was very pretty.
It's a good-looking little building. This is what it looked like directly after the hurricane.
You can see all the debris everywhere and all the windows blown out. This was right after Hurricane Laura.
And it was never put back the way it was supposed to be put back due to insurance.
A lot of people that travel I-10, that's the building they would always see to know, hey, we go over this bridge and then there's this tower, you're in Lake Charles. Now that won't be there anymore. They'll cross the bridge and it won't be there. And they'll be like, wait, where'd it go?
So here's the building right here. So this is the inclusion zone here, and this basically shows the area where potential debris could fly to. Yeah. So in this area, you shouldn't be outside, or you should not be in this zone when the building goes down. And it's going down when? September the 7th?
7th, yes. It's a Saturday. Yep, 8 o'clock in the morning. They said it'll take 90 seconds or 30 seconds.
They said it'll take 90 days post-demolition.
No, but they said to come down, it was going to be quick.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you're not going to, you better be there on time if you want to see it.
Maybe we could go out and set up and do a live broadcast.
Maybe so.
That would be cool. See a building implode live. I mean, it's kind of like a once-in-a-lifetime event.
Yeah.
To see a building in your town. I mean, that's not even most buildings, how many times do buildings get imploded?
I don't know. Probably more than we think, but we just don't implode them around here because this is our only one tall building.
We have a few other tall buildings. There's a few other. Let's do this. Let's do So this is, oh, look, this is a recent picture because you can see the damage
Yeah.
on there. But this is the current skyline. So, like, you know, this is the Civic Center. This is a bank. There's a bank in there, too. Isn't that Chase?
I think so. I don't remember. I think so.
Yeah, but all the rest of these buildings are government buildings,
City buildings.
city buildings. So we don't really have a skyline. This was like the main skyline. We don't have a lot of tall buildings. Matter of fact, the tallest buildings we have currently are
Casinos.
in Bifftown.
In Bifftown. Yes, you're right. But yeah, so I think it's going to be pretty exciting. I bet there's going to be quite a few people that go watch it.
I mean,
I've never been to an implosion. I wonder if they're loud.
I mean, when you just look at our downtown, it just looks like, I don't know, it just doesn't look.
It's small.
It's small. And it's not appealing. I don't know, but they've done a good job with Ryan Street.
They did.
Like
They
got
downtown
some
Ryan Street.
businesses.
They've coming around. They're coming around. They're rebuilding it and everything. So, but they are supposed to put something in its place.
What?
Now I don't know what, but I had read somewhere that they'll put something down there. Just probably not a big building like that.
See, they've done a good job with this section here. Like this is nice looking. Ryan Street. When you come down Ryan Street,
So it makes sense that the Capital One building comes down.
it does.
Well, I mean, they're trying to make it nicer, make it prettier, and if they can't fix the tower, then maybe you can put something else there that looks nice.
Remember our podcast about Bifftown?
Yes, Bifftown.
Here's Bifftown. Here's
The casinos.
well, I don't see the casino here.
That's the refineries
These are all
there.
refineries. If you don't know what we're talking about, or the Bifftown in the podcast, which one was it?
We just did it a couple days ago.
I don't remember which one it was. But we talked about Lake Charles being Bifftown, and Bifftown is the town you see in Back to the Future 2 when Marty comes back, and all you see is refineries and casinos.
So what do you think about the CM Tower coming down?
I'm a little sad. I'm a little bit sad because, you know, we had our wedding reception there. We used to eat dinner up there at the top of that tower. I mean, I thought for us personally, we have a connection with the tower. I mean,
Yes, I agree.
but is it an eyesore right now? 100%.
Yes.
Does it need to come down? 100%.
Yeah.
So I think what really the Capital One Tower expresses right now is how insurance companies have just really dropped the ball.
Yeah. We're paying way more, and then they're not wanting to pay.
Yeah. And you can see it not just at this particular building, but all around town. There's still buildings that are gone or destroyed 4 years later from the hurricane. And there's no real plans for some of these buildings to be fixed or replaced or whatever. So hurricanes are a bad deal.
Okay, so the date set for this implosion will be September 7th at 8 in the morning. So if you're traveling I-10 on September the 7th, early that morning, you may actually see it implode.
Could you imagine you're just driving down the highway and then all of a sudden the building blows up while you're driving by?
You may be like, what in the
Do you think they're
world?
going to close the interstate for a minute and say, hey, look, go 210?
I don't think so, because look at your line. I think you'll be fine.
But could you imagine, like, let's just say you're like just driving through Bifftown and you're like, oh, look at all the refineries. This must be where they make the oil that goes in my car or
Yeah.
gas. And then all of a sudden the building next to you falls. What's your impression now? You drive over, there's refineries, there's casinos, then a building implodes. What's your impression now of Lake Charles?
Did we just get bombed? Because if you have no idea what's going on and this building just goes poof,
You're just driving by,
I would be very curious.
admiring the casinos and admiring the refineries. And
My first thing would be pick up the phone and call you, Cherith, this building just exploded next to me.
that would be your first thing?
I would probably call you, yes.
Oh yeah. If you're looking for that podcast where we talk about Bifftown, it's not only do we have one of the most ugliest buildings in the country, we have the most dangerous bridge in the country here in Lake Charles. Lake Charles is just knocking out these first place
And they're right next to each other, too.
right next to each other. Maybe it's just that area.
Maybe so. But we're supposed to get a new bridge. We're going to demolish the building.
It's gonna be a whole new town. We'll
Whole
have to
new
rename
town.
it. We'll have to name it Biff's New Town.
Biff's New Town. I like it.
Yep. Well, if you happen to be traveling along I-10 on September that morning, maybe you want to stop and find you a place to park. And check out the building being imploded. It's kind of not something you see every day.
Nope. 8 o'clock a.m. Supposed to only last less than 5 minutes. It'll be done.
Yeah, so it won't take a whole lot of time out of your day. And technically, driving through Lake Charles only takes about 5 minutes anyway. So if you
That is correct.
If you time it just right, you can watch it fall as you pass by.
Yep. Have your phones out.
Well, until next time, while you're out there watching buildings crash and burn, remember, life's a journey.
Enjoy the ride.